Mosquitoes are some of the fastest and most hardcore insects of all time, which is why for the next 100 days, I'll be surviving as a mosquito in Minecraft. Using my awesome wings and tiny size, I'll be exploring the world from a whole new perspective as I grow into bigger and better forms. Will I be able to stop the pest control from eliminating all insects or die to their poison? You'll have to watch until the end to find out. On day 1, I spawned in as a baby mosquito. My colony was under attack by the powerful pest control organization. My people flew around in horror as the massive human titans shot at them with poisonous attacks. Things got worse when their leader stepped forward.
Foul mosquitoes! Soon you and all insects will die to our poison.
I have to find my parents. I ran through my colony in search of help as my friends fell to the pest control's poison. Finally, I found my mom, but I watched in horror as the leader hit her with a deadly blow. Mom!
Alonzo, you have to find your dad before it's too late.
Before I could respond, she died. No! Suddenly, the pest control leader set his sights on me.
Don't let any of them escape! Get him, men!
I used my wings to fly away as the members of the evil organization chased behind me. On day 2, I was flying through the overworld while being chased by the pest control men.
Get back here, you pesky vermin!
I was a tiny mosquito in the massive world of Minecraft. Compared to me, a blade of grass was the size of a building. I did my best to avoid the enemies, but more members of the pest control seemed to arrive no matter where I turned. I had to think of another way out. Using my wings, I flew upwards into a tree, but waiting for me was a massive dragonfly.
What a tasty looking meal.
Looks like I have to fight. I began to defend myself from the horrible predator and realized as a mosquito, I had a powerful slash and stab attack with my blood-sucking nose. The massive dragonfly then blasted acid at me. He kept shooting until I was poisoned, and I knew I was running out of time. I used my abilities to try and scare away the monster, but they weren't enough to stop them. Things were looking bad for me. On day 3, I was about to get eaten by the predator when my dad came out to save me.
Leave my son alone!
My dad sprang into action and began to defend me from the horrible dragonfly. The two of them were neck and neck as pest control was closing in on them fast.
You have to escape, Bronzo. Run while you can.
I didn't have time to ask any questions. I flew away while my dad held the foes off. As I was flying, I spotted a bright, glowing light in the distance. Whoa, what is that? Its beauty drew me in closer, and I was unable to look away when out of nowhere, a human stepped out and saw me.
Mosquito!
In a panic, the human began to swat at me, trying to crush me. I flew towards the light, but right when I touched it, I was zapped, taking massive damage. I flew towards the ground, stunned from the electric attack. On days 4 through 5, I woke up on the ground with low health. I have to make sure my dad is okay. I tried to take to the skies, but the fall had injured my wings. I was going to have to continue on foot. Suddenly, a massive rat emerged before me.
Well, looks like I found myself some chum.
The enemy attacked me, and I tried my best to use my mosquito abilities to defend myself. I lashed out with my blood slash and stab, and the rat struck back, shooting arrows and throwing potions at me. I tried to keep my distance, but he kept charging towards me. Unfortunately, without my wings, I didn't stand a chance against the rat boss. I was losing. I can't keep this up. I have to run. I began to scurry away as the rat followed behind me. On days 6 through 7, I was being chased by the giant rat boss while being unable to fly.
You can't run forever!
I ran as fast as my 6 legs could carry me, but it was no use. The monster was gaining on me fast. I'm not gonna make it! Suddenly, thunder roared in the sky, and it began to rain, causing water to pour down the land around me. The rain was much more dangerous in my tiny size. I took the high ground and began to jump from leaf to leaf on plants to try and evade the incoming water below. I'm almost there! I made my last jump, but narrowly missed it, causing me to get swept away by the storm. Eventually, I washed up into another location, far away from home. Unfortunately, a pest control worker was already waiting for me.
I've got you now.
On days 8 through 9, I had to do something. In a last-ditch effort, I bit the man, drinking some of his blood.
Ah! Itchy!
Suddenly, my health was restored, along with my wings. Drinking his blood had healed me. Whoa! As a mosquito, I have lifesteal abilities. Just then, the ground trembled as loud footsteps could be heard in the distance. More pest control reinforcements came charging in my direction. With my newly healed wings, I took to the sky and charged the reinforcements with my blood slashes and stabs.
He's too fast!
After swooping by with a hit and run, I flew way up high to try and escape them, but I was going to need to find cover soon. Luckily, I spotted one of the pest control bases nearby and flew into the building. To my surprise, I spotted my dad, locked in a cage inside. Dad!
Bonzo, be careful. A pest control officer is nearby.
A what?
They have special weapons specifically for killing our kind. Run away, quickly!
Before I could do anything, a giant pest control officer emerged before me.
Looks like I've caught myself 2 runaways.
The massive foe drew a huge sword and charged right at me. On days 10 through 12, I was under attack by the pest control officer. I knew for a fact that I didn't stand a chance against him. He was much bigger and stronger than any of the other goons I had faced so far. He charged at me, swinging his sword like crazy, so I flew around him to avoid getting sliced. I attacked with my stinger, but was blocked when he clashed his blade against me. I tried to run away to catch my breath, but he jumped across the room to continue his attack. I'm coming for you, Dad! I flew to my father's cage and broke him out so I could have some backup. With my dad now free, the 2 of us teamed up to try and take down the powerful officer. We flew around, keeping him off balance as we avoided his blade. My dad attacked with his blood-sting barrage as we worked together to overwhelm the pest control officer. Angered by the attacks, he stabbed the ground, causing a blade to shoot out from underneath us. They were neck and neck. It was anyone's game, but the pest control officer was about to play dirty.
Enough of this!
The foe turned in my direction and shot at me with a surprise poison attack.
Bonzo, no!
My dad flew in and intercepted the hit, taking the fatal damage for me.
Bonzo, defend our kind. You're our only hope.
My dad couldn't hold on any longer. I watched as he died. Dad, no! You'll pay for this! I was blind with rage and flew in to avenge my father. On days 13 through 15, I was back in combat with the officer to take revenge for him killing my dad. Our fierce battle spilled outside into the base's courtyard. The other pest control goons watched from a distance as their officer tried to kill me.
Hey, kill him!
Despite my best efforts, he was still too strong for me to defeat. I had to do something before I would meet the same fate as my dad. No, I'm not dying here. I gathered up my courage and flew in close to land a bite attack. I drank some of his blood, but suddenly my body began to feel strange. I grew bigger in size and my exoskeleton shifted colors. My wings became longer, along with my blood-sucking nose. I was now a giant blood mosquito with 5 additional hearts and the ability to perform form a blood-sucking barrage, like my father. Armed with my new powers, I began to fight off the pest control officer with everything I had. With my blood sting barrage, I was able to do aerial flybys. I dashed back and forth around my enemy, disorienting him with my speed while I slashed at him. With my strong new body, I could take dozens of more hits than before. As he swung around with his sword, I took the opportunity of a drop in his guard and stabbed him. Finally, I brought him down, once and for all.
You may have defeated me, but the other 4 officers will stop at nothing to hunt you down. Ugh.
Did he say 4 more officers? If I can drink all of their blood, I'll grow even bigger and might be able to defeat their leader. Suddenly, the upset bystanders stormed towards me, angry that I had killed their leader. I quickly took to the skies and began my hunt for the second pest control officer. On days 16 to 18, I was being chased by the pest control army. I tried to evade them, but they were too fast and they were gaining on me. I'm not gonna make it. I better think of something quick. Suddenly, I heard a little voice calling out to me.
Over here!
I then spotted a little spider shouting for me from a hiding spot. Since I was still being chased, I didn't waste a second and flew towards it. I ducked into the hiding spot and narrowly avoided the sight of the pest control who ran by. Oh, that was a close one. Thanks for helping, little spider. Just then, I accidentally drifted into a sticky spider's web, and I couldn't move. What the? Hey, what's the big idea?
Sorry, Mosquito, but my family needs to eat, and you look like an entire feast.
Uh-oh, not good. Help! Help! More spiders emerged from the walls of the cave, looking at me like they were extremely hungry. The first spider I talked to lunged at me. On days 19 to 22, I was about to be gobbled up by the spiders, when suddenly the room began to tremble. Quickly, the nest was invaded by pest control, and they started setting everything on fire.
You insects are as good as dead.
The flames spread around the room, killing spiders left and right. The flames inched towards me and the first spider, soon surrounding us. The spider ran away in horror as the fire burned me free from the webs I was trapped in. Now's my chance. I took some fire damage, but managed to fly away to escape the burning nest. As I flew out, I watched as the pest control captured the spider that almost ate me.
No, I just wanted to feed my family.
Pest control left with the spider, but I couldn't help but to feel a bit guilty. He may have attacked me, but he's an insect too. I need to help him. I followed after the pest control and spider to start my rescue mission. On days 23 to 26, I followed the pest control unit until they led me to a massive conveyor belt, dropping innocent spiders into a lava pit. I watched in horror as numerous bugs fell into the pit towards their doom. I have to stop this, but how? Suddenly, I spotted the mechanism that was powering the conveyor belt and flew to it. The nearby guards tried to stop me, but they were no match for my second form. After beating up those goons, I tried to destroy the mechanism from the outside, but it was concealed with armor. I'm gonna have to find another way around this before more guards get here. I used my small size to fly into the box to take it down from the inside. I navigated through the machinery until I spotted the core. Bingo! It was surrounded by large gears and steaming metal pieces. I had to watch my step, not wasting any time. I honed in all of my power and smashed into the core. As it shattered, the inside exploded, sending me flying out of the machine. I hit the ground hard as fire and metal flew everywhere. From the days of 27 to 30, I woke up from the explosion and realized that I successfully destroyed the mechanism. Before I could celebrate, the next pest control officer arrived on the scene.
Looks like we've got ourselves a rebel. I'm stopping this now.
He charged in and started to attack me. The pest control officer was obviously skilled. He twirled around gracefully with his spear, slashing and stabbing mercilessly. recklessly. I was immediately on the offense, charging in with an onslaught of body attacks and using my blade and stings to their maximum ability. After some intense clashing, I caught my breath by flying up in the air and then zoomed back down to resume the attack. Despite my speed, the officer was able to keep up with me easily. I duked it out with the officer, but he was tough and I was already low on health. I tried to bite him and suck out his blood, but he evaded my attack. I couldn't land the critical hit. Just as I thought it was over for me, the spider that tried to eat me earlier built a web trap.
Quick, over here!
Now's my chance! I knocked him into the webs, getting him stuck in place.
What the?
Take that! While he was trapped, I bit him and transformed. I was now much stronger, with huge muscles and sharp spiked shoulder armor. And I was blood red, like my favorite food. I also gained 5 hearts, along with a ranged blood spray attack. The pest control officer broke out of the webs with his spear, but I finished him off with my new power and won the battle.
Wow, that was amazing. Hey, thanks for saving me, even though I tried to eat you.
Don't worry about it. Us insects have to stick together.
Actually, I'm an arachnid.
As I was thanking the spider, I noticed that the officer dropped a map titled Anthill. Is this where they're attacking next? I have to stop them. On days 31 to 34, I arrived at the location on the map to find a colony of ants running in terror from the attack of the pest control.
Leave none alive!
The goons sprayed poison and fire all over their colony. Stop right there! I used my new powers to fight off the pest control goons. They had me in numbers, but after drinking the blood of 2 officers, I had grown much stronger. While they tried their best to pile on me and swat me flat, I continued with my blood sting barrage to sting all of them at once. I gave myself some distance and then shot them with my blood spray attack, damaging many of them. Ants came in to help when they saw I was taking care of the bad guys, using their little pincers to bite. Quickly, I took another one down with a single move. I was able to take out most of the goons, and the others retreated.
Just you wait, Mosquito. We'll come back with reinforcements.
I rushed to the queen ant to see if her colony was okay, but they weren't doing so well.
We've all been poisoned and will die in a matter of days. Please, would you find the cure for us?
Of course I will. The queen handed me a map to the cure.
Please, find the flower of healing before it's too late.
I accepted and set off on my journey. On days 35 to 38, I traveled to the location on the map to find myself in a jungle biome. The cure has to be around here somewhere. Suddenly, a massive scarab attacked me.
Nobody trespasses on my land! Die!
They charged at me without hesitation. The scarab immediately began by laying down sticky webs, hoping to tangle me up and make me a meal. I nimbly evaded the webs, and he jumped up and tried to slam down on me. I dodged and flew up high, raining down blood blasts on him. I thought I had aerial superiority, but the scarab jumped so high that it didn't matter. Eventually, I had to keep using my blood-sucking abilities to keep my hearts up. I knew this couldn't last forever though. I couldn't break through his powerful armor, and every hit he landed dealt lots of damage. I don't have time for this. The ants are waiting for me. I tried to escape, but the scarab became enraged and followed me into some ancient ruins.
Oh, no you don't! Charge!
He ran full speed into a wall, causing the ruins to start to collapse and rubble to fall over my head. On days 39 to 42, I woke up under the rubble to find myself in a cave with low health. In the distance, I spotted the flower of healing. That's the cure! I was about to go towards it when I heard scuttling feet approaching me. Without any time to spare, I ducked behind some cover as the scarab scampered by.
Where are you? I'm gonna finish this!
That sounds like trouble. I have to stay hidden if I want to survive. I began to creep from rock to rock, trying to remain hidden while I approached the flower. Thanks to my caution, I was able to claim the flower. Yes! Yes, got it! Unfortunately, on my way out, the scarab spotted me.
There you are!
He charged at me full speed, but thanks to my quick reflexes, I flew up, causing him to ram into a nearby rock. The hit temporarily stunned him. I took the chance to escape. There isn't much time. I need to get this flower to the ants before they die. On days 43 to 46, I returned to the ant colony. To my horror, the next pest control officer was waiting for me.
I knew you'd come back. You're going to die with these ants, and I'll make sure of it.
Without another moment's hesitation, he drew his weapon and attacked. He leapt across the battlefield. Then he smashed his axe right on me, dealing a great amount of damage. Next, the officer spun around violently, trying to slice my mosquito body in half. I retaliated with my blood slashes and a barrage of stings, dwindling my opponent's health bit by bit. His axe had insect poison, just like the previous officers, so I used my dash to evade as much as possible. Thinking fast, I countered by flying high and raining down with my blood spray, but he didn't seem fazed. He leapt into the air, reaching me with his axe no matter where I went. He roared, rage consumed him, which stunned me in place. He continued to swing and slice me in my now weakened state. I had not anticipated this officer to be so powerful. Soon enough, I was knocked down to low health. I was in a real pinch. As I backed up, I spotted a cow in the distance and got an idea. Faster than a buzzing bee, I darted over and bit the cow. It healed me to full health mid-fight.
That's dirty!
I zoomed back into battle and kept fighting until eventually I was able to bite into the officer as well. I immediately gained 5 hearts and even developed new stomp powers, strong enough to even send the powerful officers flying back. With my stomp power, I turned around the fight, putting the officer on the defense. With one last blow, I defeated him. I dashed and handed over the flower to the ants, curing them of the poison.
Thank you. You saved us.
Suddenly, I heard a massive roar in the distance. That doesn't sound good. I flew on over to investigate the noise. On days 47 to 50, I arrived at the sound of the roaring to find a giant beehive under attack by a bear. The bees were trying to defend themselves, but they were no match for the savage beast.
Someone help us!
Hang on! I worked my wings into overdrive and darted in to help fend off the bear. I took the initiative with the first attack, laying into him with an immediate barrage of stinging attacks. The bear was taken by surprise, but went on the offense. He slashed out with his claws that sliced with razor-like power, then roared ferociously, powerful enough that it sent me flying back. Then he charged at me, clamping down on my body with vicious fangs. I countered with my own attacks, slowly but surely whittling down his health. It was incredibly difficult to keep up with his strength though. The beast was strong and took a lot of my attacks like nothing. There was no way I could let him hurt the bees though. Take this! Thanks to my new powers, I was able to defeat the bear.
You did it! Thank you so much.
It was no problem.
Unfortunately, I don't think our troubles are quite over yet.
What do you mean? Out of nowhere, smoke began to fill the area. More pest control goons were arriving.
Secure the honey and kill the bees!
On days 51 to 54, the area I was in was full of smoke as pest control rushed in.
Everyone, take cover!
The bees rushed into their hive while I hid nearby. I was injured from the bear fight and couldn't take on their numbers. I watched as the straggler bees ended up falling to the ground, completely defenseless to the smoke screen. Oh no, bees are weak to smoke. They can't fly in these conditions. Pest control was merciless, killing any bees that were in their path. As soon as the way was clear, they rushed for the beehive. I watched as they took down the hive and claimed it for their own greedy selves.
Time to extract this honey and kill the bees inside. Let's go, men!
After taking all the hives, the pest control goons left. This is bad, but I'm the only one that can help them now. As stealthily as I could, I followed the pest control to try and save the hive. On days 55 to 58, I followed the pest control to a massive volcano. They were using the smoke to keep bees from escaping. I watched in horror as they broke open countless beehives for their honey. Any bee that tried to escape was killed. I have to stop this. I flew in to intervene and attacked the goons. These guys were easy prey. I stung them a few times and flew out of their reach. I was able to dart around in the sky while they had to clumsily walk around the jagged rocks of the volcano. While they tried desperately to hit me, I splatted them with my blood spray. They were all gathered up perfectly at this point, so I used all of my strength and stomped them down like little insects. The force of the stomps was so powerful that it sent many of them straight into the volcano. I was stronger with my upgrades from the 3 officers, so I managed to take down the goons fast. Before I was able to free the bees, the next officer revealed himself.
The little mosquito that's been stirring up trouble has arrived. You're dying here.
In a flash, he attacked me with a curved bug killer's sword. On days 59 to 62, I fought the 4th pest control officer. They were different from the rest. Not only did he wield a wicked looking blade, but he was able to teleport around me. He was so incredibly fast that it was hard to keep up. I did my best to muscle through it and land some stings on him, but he smoothly reached up and used some kind of stunning effect. Everything flashed white and I was briefly blinded. I used my blood barrage to try and hit him, and I managed to do some damage. I had truly met my match though. He was a master at slashing and dashing, just like me. It was a battle of skill at this point, and I knew I had to be careful. He had the same anti-insect poison that the rest of the officers used.
Take that, and this.
He was powerful, but I had an idea. I lured him into some rogue honey blocks laying around.
Hey, what gives?
I managed to get him stuck in it and sucked some of his blood. I gained 5 hearts, and I could now generate powerful wind attacks with my wings. Thanks to my new strength, I knocked the officer over the edge of the volcano and into the lava. Only one more officer to go. I took the bees back to a safe place, away from the volcano's smoke. The bees thanked me, but just then, I heard some screaming. Looks like I can't relax now. I have to see what the trouble is. On days 63 to 66, I arrived at the sound of the screams to find a butterfly being chased by pest control. Leave him alone! I flew in to help them fend off the goons. The tables had turned. These were the real pests now. I jumped down on them with a massive stomp attack, scattering them. Fast as a bullet, I followed up with a barrage of blood attacks. The goons didn't hesitate to hold back with their flame and poison attacks, desperate to kill me, but I could no longer be brought down so easily. With my whirlwind attacks, I knocked them around like little insects. Now they knew how it felt. After a quick fight, I managed to take them all down with a final blood sting barrage.
Please, you have to help me. My family has been captured by pest control.
Show me where they are. I followed the butterfly to another pest control base. Sure enough, it was crawling with baddies.
They're inside of there. Please, help them before they're killed.
It looked dangerous, but there wasn't time to think it through. Don't worry, I'm on it. I snuck into the base in hopes of saving the butterfly's captured family. On days 67 to 70, I snuck into the facility and stealthed past goon after goon. As I made my way deeper inside, I saw the pest control leader walking by. Oh no, that's the strongest member of the pest control. I held my breath and stayed hidden as he approached one of his men.
Did you apprehend and kill the mosquito?
No, sir. He took down another one of our officers.
Another? You are all worthless! Roar!
He struck down the goon, killing him in a single blow.
My final officer better not let me down. Otherwise, that mosquito is going to die, personally by my hand.
He was incredibly powerful, and I knew if I was to get caught right now, I wouldn't live to see another day. But he was blocking the only area I had not searched. Here goes nothing! I began creeping closer towards the door. On days 71 to 74, I was trying to sneak by the big bad into the final room. As I crept along, I accidentally hit a pressure plate. The noise alerted the big bad, who turned around and saw me.
Look who served himself on a silver platter. You're mine, bug!
He attacked me, and I ran for my life. I ran until I buzzed right into a dead end. Where do I go? As I desperately looked around, I spotted a vent and flew into it to escape. When I exited to the other side, I realized that I had run into the room I was trying to find. The butterfly's family was here, trapped. Don't worry, you guys will be free soon. Suddenly, the final pest control officer dropped down behind me.
Are you sure about that? The boss will be pleased when I kill you. Die!
On the days of 75 to 78, I was facing off with the final officer. We were neck and neck as we exchanged blows. The officer was just as skilled as the previous ones and seemed to favor the blade. The weapon was coated in deadly poison, just like the others, and he spun it through the air with masterful grace. He moved so fast sometimes, he seemed to be disappearing. I was also skillful with speedy attacks. I had the brute force to win this battle. I struck him again and again with gusts stirred up with my powerful wings to wound him. I was sure I was about to win when out of nowhere, the butterfly from earlier came in and hit me with a heavy attack. What are you doing? I'm trying to help you.
You fool! I work with pest control, and you fell for my trap!
But your family!
Those bugs aren't my family. They were bait. I'll turn you over to pest control, and in return, they'll spare my life.
Before I could retaliate, I was hit with the stomach-churning poison, causing me to black out. On days 79 to 82, I woke up in an incinerator with other bugs around me. Pretty soon, we were all gonna be burned alive. Although I could fly and escape myself, I couldn't leave the other insects here to die. I gotta find a way to get them out of here. I searched the area for an alternate path as fires began to start all around me. I'm running out of time, but I have to save all the innocent bugs. Finally, I dug through some trash and found a way out. Everyone, through here, now! But before I was able to escape, the butterfly traders stopped me.
You won't escape! I'll live no matter what!
Just then, they attacked. On days 83 to 86, I was still stunned by the butterfly's attack. The incinerator continued to get hotter and hotter, and I knew I had to escape immediately.
Let me show you my true form!
Suddenly, the butterfly transformed into a much larger and stronger hornet beetle mutant. What are you?
Your worst nightmare! Now die!
The mutant butterfly lunged at me, fighting with its wicked teeth. I responded with my sting barrage and put him through the mix. It flew backwards and shot confusion rays at me, hitting me and causing my sight to go dark. The mutated butterfly took the opportunity to sneak in and blast me with its leaf attack. I was strong enough to withstand its hits and fought back, hitting him with my whirlwind power. He flew at me with a rage, and we continued to fight, flying around as the heat continued to grow greater in the furnace. We were neck and neck, but this wasn't getting anywhere. The fire was spreading all around me, and I knew I was running out of time. I have to get out of here. I fled through the exit and hit the monstrosity back into the incinerator, just as it fully set ablaze. The creature perished in the fire. As the ashes cooled down, I realized he had left a map behind. What's this? I grabbed the map. It was titled Pest Attack. This must be where the final officer ran away to. It's time to get my final upgrade. On days 87 to 90, I arrived at the location on the map to find the 5th and final pest control officer killing innocent bugs. Your evil ends here.
You again? You escaped the incinerator.
That's right, and I'm going to take your blood and become even stronger.
Yeah, right. I'm not letting you cause any more trouble for us. I'm stopping you now.
I'd like to see you try. I flew back to attack, but the pest control officer hit me with a strange new poison attack. What's happening to me? My vision was getting dizzy, and I fell asleep. On days 91 to 93, I found myself in a dream realm. Oh no, that poison put me to sleep. I need to wake up before I'm killed in the real world. I was searching for a way out when suddenly an Enderman-like creature confronted me.
You'll never escape my dream realm, a little insect.
I have to. I'm the last hope for insect kind. As the creature attacked, my vision went dark. The moment I could see again, I realized there were dozens upon dozens of shadow copies of him. I couldn't figure out which one was the real one. Every time I struck one down, they would disappear into smoke, yet they could still strike me back. It was starting to feel hopeless as the nightmares continued to crowd around me. They growled and slammed me with powerful attacks, battering me mercilessly. No matter what I did, I couldn't seem to get an edge. I wasn't strong enough to beat them. No! I'm so close to gaining the last of my power! As I thought I was about to lose, I heard a familiar voice shout out,
Leave my son alone!
On days 94 to 96, my dad arrived in the dream realm. Dad?
I'll explain later. Fight, son!
With that, I saw my dad dash through one of the nightmares, piercing it with his stinger and destroying him. Feeling a burst of hope, I dashed between the closest enemies, slicing as I passed, destroying them in seconds. We continued zipping through the horde, killing one after the other, faster than they could regenerate. Thanks to my dad's help, together we took down the real nightmare. Wow, with you still alive, we definitely can take down the pest control leader. Easy peasy. I thought you were dead.
Unfortunately, I am in the real world, but my memory still resides here. That's how we're able to talk.
Ah, I understand. Well, I miss you, Dad, a lot. I don't want to let you or the other bugs down, and I definitely don't want to see that nasty pest control leader win. It feels like I'm our last hope at survival. If I fail, well, that might be the end of all of insect kind.
And you won't. I'm so proud of how far you've come. Keep fighting. Gain the last of your power and take down pest control once and for all.
He handed me a golden apple, so I ate it, and I felt my vision start to blur. I was about to wake up.
Good luck, Bronzo. I love you.
On days 97 to 98, I woke up back in the real world, just as the 5th officer was about to kill me.
You! Hold still!
He attacked me again. I flew in and bit him, instantly growing bigger, gaining 5 hearts and more powerful. For my people! I attacked him with my new strength and won. Suddenly, the pest control leader arrived with his men.
I see all my officers have failed me. Oh well, your plans will fail either way. I'm about to unleash a poison bomb strong enough to kill all insects on this pathetic planet.
No, I won't let you. I charged at the big bad, but his goons intervened. On day 99, I was fighting the goons. More and more continued to arrive. No matter how many I killed, I thought I was gonna die until my insect allies arrived.
Get them!
The bees, spiders, ants, and other insects I had helped came to my aid. They attacked with pincers, stingers, and teeth, helping to even the odds in my favor. But I noticed that the big bad was taking the opportunity to escape.
Fight all you want. My poison bomb will blow any minute now.
Oh no, you don't. I chased after him, while my allies held off the baddies. I couldn't let him unleash his poison bomb. On day 100, I arrived at a clearing with the pest control leader. There, his poison bombs were waiting, ticking closer and closer to total devastation. Enough of this, you monster! If you turn off the bomb and disarm it, I'll spare you. This is your only chance, or else.
Never! I've had enough of you nasty insects. I'm going to make sure not a single one of you live another day!
Then this ends here. I'm sick and tired of you trying to exterminate my friends and family. I've spent the last 100 days waiting for this moment. The moment I finally get to put a stop to all your madness, once and for all.
Then it's time for me to stop holding back.
The pest control leader unveiled a powerful scythe that looked to be deadly upon impact. I knew I would have to avoid getting hit at any cost.
Death comes for us all. And now it's knocking at your door.
He charged at me, and I dashed into him with my stinger attack. His scythe sliced into me as I attacked with my blood barrage. He was extremely fast, swinging his blade around him in a whirlwind of destruction. I dodged as best I could, attacking with my stinger when I saw an opening. I backed away to steer clear of his attacks, but he started shooting shadow poison at me. He suddenly came up to me with lightning speed and unleashed a volley of hand-to-hand attacks. I could barely keep up with him as he unleashed his rage with a powerful shadow explosion. We were neck and neck. He was the toughest foe I have ever faced. I thought I was gonna lose, but I found an opening and bit him hard. His blood caused me to grow into a giant. Have a taste of your own medicine. I stepped on him and he died in an instant. I destroyed the bomb and the world was saved! Yes!